Jackie Terry, and I want you to tell everybody what your name is.
My name is Anita Johnson. They call me Mrs. O, Miss O, in the fashion industry.
Yes. So tell everybody what got you into fashion and how long have you been doing this?
I've been sewing ever since I was about 13 years old. My inspiration was my mom. She couldn't afford to buy us clothes, so she would take her clothes and tear them up and make little jumper suits for me to wear to school, and she did it all by hand. So that's the way I started off sewing, by hand, at the age of 13.
When you're sewing, what type of feeling does it bring to you as a person? How do you feel creating all these great designs for your clients?
I've always had a love for fashions. I love sparkles and, tapered designs, tapered clothing, and it just brings a joy to be able to show my designs to the world. So that's something that takes a lot of the stress and tension away from me. I just start creating things from scratch. It's all in my head, and then by the time I start to sew, it just comes together.
Can you explain your work environment? How important is to have a comfortable work environment when you're doing these type of creations?
As you can see, I'm in a small apartment. I used to have a big house that had a big sewing room and everything, but now I'm in a small apartment, so I have to try to create different ways or things that I can do to make it, to make my creations come together. So, I use my little sewing cutting board and everything. I have my beautiful sewing room that I've created back in the back part of the apartment. And all of it just comes together for me.
Excellent. So, you have created a lot of history doing this. How many lives have you touched in general just by creating this fashion? What excitement does it bring to people that try on your clothes, try on your designs? How do they feel about it?
I always pray that they enjoy everything I've made for them. If there's a problem or something, they always able to bring it back to me and tell me what they need changed on it. I get a real thrill out of making people happy or seeing them beautiful in my designs. And as you can see, I'm kind of hoarse too. But it's just something that really, I don't know.
Oh, no, you're fine. It brings enlightenment to you and other people.
Yeah, and especially a lot of the entertainers that I sew for.
Yes.
Because I've been doing that for quite a few years. A lot of the blues entertainers, rhythm and blues entertainers. It's just, I just love to see people happy wearing something that I've created.
Yes. You recently had an all-white fashion show at the Kansas City Negro Museum.
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain to the audience how that went? How did that make you feel? How did your models do? That whole event was beautiful. Can you explain to the audience?
Well, it was a last moment situation. The gentleman that was putting on the white ball, Don Celestine, he had contacted me and asked me if I would like to do a little small mini fashion show. So naturally I said yes. I would have said it if he had said 10 minutes. I would have still went on and did the show. But it was a half an hour show. I think my models did amazing. Everything went great. The people seemed to really enjoy it. And it was just a wonderful night. And it was also a part of history as far as I'm concerned, because my father used to be an usher at the Gym Theater. So I've always wanted to have a connection with the baseball museum down on 18th and Vine. And this was my time. So I took it and I ran with it.
It's a beautiful sight. Can you tell everybody how important taking advantage of the opportunity at hand is? A lot of people miss out on opportunity because of fear or just self-doubt. How important is taking advantage of opportunity for you?
Well, in the past, I've always had a lot of fear, and I've had a lot of opportunities. One of my biggest opportunity was there used to be a talk show in Kansas City, Missouri called Dimensions in Black with Olivia Dorsey, and I worked at a tailoring shop, so she came in to pick up her clothes, and I was talking about my fashions, and she invited me to be on her TV show. So that was a big compliment for me, and I've had so many other invitations that I turned down because of fear. But now being older, I'm ready. I'm going for it, and it's my time.
Are there any closing statements you want to add to any future fashion designers or models? Any words of wisdom you want to have just to motivate them? Any beginners getting into the game? What would you tell them personally getting started?
Just keep going, and if your heart is in it and this is what you love to do, it'll come together for you. Like I said, it's taken me a lot of years. I've had a lot of experience, so it comes easy for me. The main thing is just don't give up. If you have a dream, just keep going for it, like I'm going now for it. Hi, I'm Anita Johnson.
Pleasure to meet you.
Miss O.
Yes. And what I want to say is thank you for inviting me into your home to interview you. This has been an amazing experience. Personally, I really like your presentation, the whole entire house, your design layout, and your ambition. You have touched so many people around the world. I won't say around the world. Yeah. Kansas City, you have plenty of awards, and my thing is you keep going. You know, you just keep going, and you're doing what you love to do.
This is what I love to do. Like I said, I've been doing it ever since I was 13 years old. And even though that now I'm going on, I don't mind saying that I'm going on 76 years old.
Oh, wow. Look good.
My thing was, since my oldest son is so sick now and in the nursing home, where I was there every day, you know, being by his side and everything, people kept saying that I need to take a break. I need to do something to keep myself motivated and keep my health up. So that's my reason for getting back into doing this sewing like I'm doing it. And once I do that, I just go at it.
Right.
Also, my fiance that passed, whenever I start struggling with something or I'm getting depressed or getting down, he would always say, "You can do that. I know you can. I done seen you do it." So whenever I start getting myself, doubting myself, getting, in depression and everything, anxiety and stress and everything, I hear his voice in my head saying, "Get up. You can do that."
Right. It's a sense of motivation. And I feel the same way. In the long run, I feel like our gifts are what we do as a talent, as a skill, and it just helps us get over our battles. It's a form of therapy. Yeah. My situation is I can't really see my son like that on a regular. He stays in a different state, and with the custody battles and whatnot, and it can lead to depression. But I like doing this video stuff and videography, photography, because it's a sense of enlightenment, and it just gets me out of that stage where I can make a difference. I can I can do whatever. And every time I think about my son, I'm like, okay, I get that extra sense of motivation, that drive. I'm like, because I know in the long run, with God's help, everything will work out for the best.
Right.
But as long as I can touch as many people as I can, it helps. So I believe it's what we went through in our own personal lives that helps us develop a strong mentality of what we can do with our talents. It pushes us.
Right. And I've gone through so much coming up, through the, I say through my children's fathers and the beatings and the verbal abuse and everything. And it makes me feel good. I still doubt myself sometimes when people say, wow, you're such a strong person. I'm like, okay, but I don't understand it, because I guess in a sense, I feel like, I could have been much more crazier than I am now.
Yes.
Now I'm just crazy when it comes to the designs.
Oh, yeah. Just putting all that energy into the designs.
Yeah, because see, my youngest son, the one that's the in-law, he didn't want me doing this sewing, and he would always be on me. You don't need to do that, it's not taking you anywhere. But I don't have nothing but time. God has allowed me to keep going and keep living and everything and doing what I love to do. And he's telling me, don't give up no matter what anybody says. Right. So when I had my 75th birthday, I called it my fashion extravaganza.
Yes.
And I love Bruno Mars, so I always wanted to do something with Bruno Mars's 24 karat gold. So my last scene was everything that I had designed that was gold, a gold and black sequence and everything. And then we had Bruno Mars's on, and my son and his wife and children came, and at the end it made me feel so good because he said, "Ma, it was spectacular." I even had my boss from the theater come up and brought me a cake as big as the table that we had, so it was a beautiful show, and the 76 was going to be even more spectacular.
Wow. Like I said, you have created amazing artwork, a legacy of just material and history that will build on for generations. And I believe it's just all about creating that legacy. And you said the key word, God is keeping you doing this. And you had that never give up attitude. Like, I'm not going to give up. Even if it is hard and there may be a little bit of self-doubt, you have your husband picks you up every time. Never forget those words, and these words are powerful. They travel in time. So we just think about the people we love, and it's our motivation to keep going. And as long as we can make a difference in somebody else's life and make their lives better and bring value to them, their lives as well as ourselves, then I believe we are all doing God's work.
Just to see the smile on their face.
Yes.
I know that they're enjoying what I've created.
Yes. Beautiful experience. This was a nice experience.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed it. I'm just thrilled to death to have you invite you into my little small beautiful place.
Small big place filled with wonderful opportunity. It doesn't, and the thing is, you don't have to have a big environment. It's all about the heart and the dedication that you put into the craft.
And what you can create in a small place. Small places become big places, and they become legendary places. So don't let anybody ever tell you different. Yeah, like I said, I came from Chicago, Illinois, and my mom brought me here when I was 5 years old.
Wow. Living dream, living testimony that anything can be done with perseverance, hard work, dedication, God, most of all, believing in yourself and believing everybody around you. So you have a strong circle. So
they keep me going, especially the models. They keep me going. They're always there for me.
Right.
Man. Whatever Miss O says, they go along with it. How crazy it may be, they still go along with it.
Yes.
And it comes out great.
It's beautiful. Teamwork made the dream work.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Hi, Jackie.
Hey,
I'm Anita Johnson of Anita's Designs and Fashions.
Yes, yes.
And this is my humble home.
I really like it. I really like the layout. Everything looks perfect.
This was a picture of my mom that an artist drew of her, and this is the way I put my mom away as an angel in a white casket, which was very special to me. So that was my mom's beautiful picture there. Some pictures of some of my family members, my granddaughter that died, and this was her father that's on the wall. His name was Fred Johnson of 360 Degrees Band. Very good artist and singer. This was a picture of me when I was at Penn Valley, and some of the fashion shows that I've done in the past. My granddaughters, which was my top model, so that's a real joy to me. Beautiful picture of me on the wall next to my fiance that's no longer here. And this was my sewing area. Yeah, that was one of the most beautiful pictures that I've taken. I thought I looked very young in that one. This was my sewing area. So with me being in a small apartment, it's kind of difficult for me to have somewhere to cut. So I use this cutting board to do all my creation, all my cuts for my fashions on this cutting board. As you're going along, this is going in toward my little kitchen area. And as we get into the hallway, as you can see, I love pictures. So there's all family members as they were coming up, my children. This is my youngest son that recently got married. I think he's been married now about 5 or 6 years. And this is my grandbabies. And my youngest son is in law. More granddaughters. This is all my sons all together. And this was the oldest one that's now in the nursing home. So I'm just asking for everybody to keep praying for my oldest son. This is all of them. This was my mom too. So I had this picture taken of them, and I made them put on these white shirts so we could take these pictures. And as we go on out through the hallway, this is the dance group that I was in back in the 60s and 70s. Some more of my friends that have all passed practically. Well, not all of them, but that's me. And that's my cousin. She's still here. But these were two of my best friends that passed back in 2017. And I surely do miss them. Because they was always there to support everything I was trying to do or come up with. I had put this picture up on the wall because I kept saying, she looked like somebody. This is my granddaughter. That was my top model. This is her now. And so I went back through all the photos and everything, and I found this picture, which is a picture of me as a baby. As we go along, this is just some of the entertainers. This is Vernon Garrett, a blues entertainer that I've sold for many years. She was a legend, Cotton Candy and So Many Men. That was my auntie. And so I used to travel with her until my mom got sick. So I really miss her. I have so many pictures and didn't have a chance to take a lot of the pictures. This is my sewing room, which is really my joy. And as you can see, I like to sketch. So I'm always sketching stuff, even if I'm out somewhere. I may be sketching something, a design coming to my head. I may sketch it out on an envelope. I do that all the time. A lot of the wedding gowns and things that I've sketched out, and some of them I've made. We do have the Wedding Expo coming up in September, and I'm excited to be back in that again this year. These are some of the people that I've sewed for, some of the entertainers that I've sewed for. The Shylights, I used to always be with the Shylights when they come to town. Ray Goodman and Brown, I never got a chance to sew for them, but I was always there when they come to town to perform. Some of the shows that I've done in the past, some of the little, portfolios and everything. But this is my real joy right here. This was my real joy. And as you can see, this is Bobby Rush. I sewed for him for 10 years. Blues entertainer. He in them years when I was sewing for him, he loved doing jumpsuits. I always made a lot of jumpsuits for him because he kind of liked that Elvis Presley style, so I was constantly always doing jumpsuits for him. And when I was talking about I was on Olivia Dorsey's show, this is the card that she gave me to thank me for being on her show. So it's very important to me, and I would love to see her someday. I don't know if she's still around, but if she is, I would love to be able to see her and let her know what I've done all these years. Some of the certificates, I was always at Penn Valley helping out the other students, and they would end up getting awards. So I decided that from now on, I'm going to get as many rewards as them. A lot of the sketches that I've done back through the years, some of them I've used in the shows and some of them I haven't. And I will be using them in my shows in the future. I'm trying to get to some of the... this was what I made for myself when I graduated from Penn Valley. This is the design that I won at Penn Valley for the sketch. And this is the way I made it for me to graduate in. I didn't have time to make those type of sleeves, so I made the little puff sleeves. And this was my graduation outfit from Penn Valley. I'm going to get to... I love doing furs. I love evening gowns. That's my love, is the evening gowns. I do a little everything. There's not too much that I can't do just looking at things. This was one of my favorite designs that I did at Penn Valley. I couldn't find this fabric any longer, so I had to come up with a different version of an Egyptian outfit, which I've had in several shows just recently. And then, let's see. I'm getting back to, these are a lot of the little awards, gift awards and everything that I received for being in the Penn Valley fashion shows. This is from Conference Bank. One of the students, her husband worked there. And so this was one of the awards that was given to me. Okay, and several others all through my little portfolio. But now I'm going to get to my favorite. These. I was determined, since I didn't win anything the first year at Penn Valley, I was determined that I'm going to make sure I win something the next year. So whereas the students were making 1 or 2 outfits, I may be making about 5 to 10 outfits or something, so... This is my joy. A lot of them I don't even have up yet, but this is my joy. The best collection, all of these came from Penn Valley. And then this was the show that I used to do. Let me get to one of the other ones. Yeah. Fashion Designs, when I was Fashion Designs, certificate for that. I'm looking for the original collection. Outstanding Designs. There. And then every year we used to go down to St. Louis, this black-owned bed and breakfast, and we would do a show in St. Louis. They had on their patio this big screen TV like deal, looked like it was coming from a drive-in theater. And so we would always model, and that's me, because I was also a model. I love to model. It's kind of difficult for me now since I've, got this arthritis in my leg, but I'm still going. And this was just one of the shows that we did in St. Louis. All these years since, I've been able to, I had the opportunity to go to New York and do a show. And after I came back, I went to St. Louis to do a show. So I'm doing a little traveling. I'm excited about that. And as you can see, my joy was wedding gowns. So there's a lot about wedding gowns that I've done in the past. Starting off from, this was my very first one. That was my cousin that got married, and that was back in the 70s. Back in the 70s. And this was my brother that got married. This is my dress that I call my backwards wedding gown. And that was one of my awards that I received at Penn Valley for that gown. My best friend's, her daughter's wedding that I did all the bridesmaids' dresses. And this was my best friend, which, like I said, she's passed now. A lot of prom gowns. The girls would bring me pictures and things and ask me to make them prom gowns. And this was one beautiful black girl, and this is what she wanted for her prom. And I made it, and she came over in a white limo for me so that I could see how beautiful she looked in her gown. A lot of times people bring pictures to me, and this girl lived in Washington, D.C. I used to sew for her grandmother all the time, and she was getting married, so she sent this picture to me to make this gown for her. I had hand sewed 1,100 pearls all over the gown. This is mushroom taffeta right here, and this is silk taffeta right here. But when it came to these sleeves, I didn't know how to do them. So I had to put that down, cry a little bit, then came back and I was able to make it.